what's up? It's Luppa here from Imba again, and I'm here with another ZvZ actually. Specifically actually just talking about a build that I seen Roach Fenner actually do a lot, and it really interests me because of the way that the meta is going in ZvZ, so I just wanted to talk about it. This is going to be a shorter video than the video yesterday, so just make sure to note that. Let's get into the game now. And so it is going to be a ZvZ on Overgrowth, and let me just get the production tab up. I do actually need to sort out my hair because it is a bit, and someone needs to cut this mane because it's getting too much to deal with right now. I just can't even deal with it. So this is played at GM level, so it's not going to be any sort of like Diamond League or anything like that. It is GM on NA, and as you can see, Fenner does go for 15 hats. But what's interesting to me with this build, whenever I seen it, was just the way that it does so well against a multitude of different builds that are common in the meta at the moment. For example, there's, you know, quick third hatch into roaches, but most of the time it ends up into roaches, okay? But there's different ways in which you go into it. There's an early third hatch into roaches. There's quick to base tech into roaches, where you get, you know, 3 or 4 gas early, get double upgrades and a layer out, get roach speed and get some roaches up before you take your third. And there's also the muta into third base. So, but what Fenner does actually really works well against all of those scenarios, so it ends up having quite a good success rate. So as you can see, 15 health going up, and Fenner does opt to go for 15 pull behind it, plus going gasless. And the gasless really helps with the situation that Fenner wants to do. As you can see, his opponent Jona is going for that early speed. Now, this is the kind of different way that I've seen him play it in this specific replay. He does opt to go for the earlier gas, say at like 5:05, 5:10. Wait, no, actually, that's really early. That's like 5 minutes. The ones I've seen of him, he likes to go for the gases later at say 5:30, so that he can get more drones out, and it actually helps out with the attack that he does a lot better. But he actually does opt to go for 5:10. I think this is maybe because he's against gasless. A quick thing to note actually as well is that he is going for 4 queens. He uses the 2 queens initially. Excuse me a second. He does use these 2 queens initially to really push out really far and push all these overloads back. And the reason why he knows he can do this is because he checked the gas timing, and he's able to know exactly whenever speed's likely to finish. And as you can see, he's nowhere near finishing right now, and he's still pushing up with these queens. He's able to get this overload and get back before any sort of threat is there. Of course, Ling speed's about to finish, but he's able to go all the way back and wall off this here. He does get a spine crawler as well, just for safety. And he's making nothing but drones right now. He doesn't need to make anything else. And what he does as well is he gets a Roach Warrant plus an Evo Chamber and uses these 3 queens to block right now. Right now is whenever any sort of Ling pressure would happen. So he's able to, you know, block off that with the spine. And everything is all good. All good in the hood. And opts to go for third base behind that, knowing there's no aggression coming anytime soon. He does see the third base as well going down, so he opts to go for his third base straight away as well. And because Jona, I think Jona sees that he went gasless. Yeah, Jona knows he went gasless, and he is getting this third hatch up, so he's going to use the advantage that he has in terms of circling speed to try and deny the third base. He's making a lot of links right now. What Fenner actually does is he opts to go for an attack right now. He shows the Evo Chamber at the front, but he doesn't actually use it. And this is a good trick because he's not actually getting a layer either, and he's only on 2 gas, so he's going to be able to produce a lot of roaches and a lot of lings. He brings his queens out with him actually as well to help out with his attack, because the queens with transfuse actually do really well. Now, Jona was able to get a cancel on this third hatchery, but at that point it doesn't really matter, because the fact is Jona was forced to, well, not forced, but Jona made all these lings early to do that. And because of that, those lings weren't drones earlier, and he's not able to benefit from the income. And he actually doesn't even have a Roach Warren. He just doesn't have a Roach Warren to hold this. So he's forced to make 3 spine crawlers. I think he even makes more. So when he makes 3 spine crawlers, right? And he does actually go and try to get those lings at the main. Fenner does comfortably block that right there. He gets the Evo Chamber as he leaves, so he's able to block it just with the 1 queen. And he's obviously doesn't have anything really to hold this attack. So he's forced to make all these spines. And this attack just goes really, really well for Fenner. He's forcing all of these things right now. All of his, Lings come down as well. Queens end up coming, though I think Jona killed one queen. Yeah, Jona killed one queen with the Lings that he had. But he doesn't have roaches, so it's not going to really be able to do anything. So what ends up happening is Fenner's training a little bit more, and he's able to actually get this third hatchery pretty comfortably, making a lot of units right now. Although he's running up behind this right now, getting his lair, getting his third up, and getting his double upgrades. Now, although this seems as if, oh well, Jona didn't have a Roach Warren, so obviously like this is going to work. It doesn't really seem as if it would work against anything else. That's kind of incorrect, because the attack hits so early that you would expect someone to have, their lair earlier. They have a Evil Chamber at the front, so then they get +1, and they're taking a third hatchery. You're not expecting them to make roaches this early, and you're going to be doing the same. You're going to be getting your lair, you're going to be getting your upgrades and everything like that. And you're just going to be, Fenner's just going to have, because he went gases as well, he's delayed everything else to get a lot of drones early, so he can actually afford all these units at this point. Now, it ends up being a situation where the opponent, if he does go for early tech, he can't really take a third base because he won't have the roaches out in time to deal with that attack. He'll have a bit of a damage spike later whenever, his upgrades finish, because of course Fenner's upgrades are later. But Fenner is able to get his third base up behind it, which means by the time that said opponent, if he was going for early roach tech, by the time we come up with an attack, Fenner would be mining from this natural base for a bit of time, and he'd be able just to have more stuff because he's mining more, so he'd be able to make more stuff, which is a lot better of a position to be in than just playing in the mid game. And if he say it was against Muta, he wouldn't have anything to hold off anything at the front, and he'd be forced to make a lot of spines, of which would be so hard for the opponent to take a third base. This is why I wanted to do this kind of episode, just because I really feel like in the current meta and the way that a lot of people play, this kind of attack Roach Ling aggression, especially after gasless, works really well. And he's been doing Fenner a lot of getting Fenner a lot of wins in the GM ladder with ZvZ because he keeps doing it. So it's obviously working well for him. So we're going to see how this plays out right now. Fenner's a lot ahead in everything. He's hitting, upgrades right now. His third base is quicker. Although he has all of this, he has a lot of money. He's a bit supply blocked. I mean, like, he's just making a bit of mistakes. I mean, this is NAGM. It's not like Korean GSL. It's obviously going to be mistakes. I'm not going to say there's not or anything like that, but he's just getting his upgrades. He should be getting this road speed actually, which is a bit delayed, but not making that much of a difference. Jona tries to use these Lings actually to go up and cancel this hatchery that he knows is going down, but he's able to get there in time. Fenner's able to get there in time. It's not really going to make that much of a difference. And game just plays it. Obviously, Fenner's ahead in economy. It kind of just snowballs from this point, where Fenner just has a much higher income. He's able to produce a lot more roaches. He's sitting on this income for such a long time. All he needs to do now is produce roaches. He's ahead in upgrades as well. Now, at this point, actually, I'm going to zoom a bit back because I forgot to talk about this. Jona decides to, he knows he's behind at this point, but Jona actually opts to, make a lot of roaches. And this is a mistake because you shouldn't be going for a lot of roaches whenever you know someone has a third base that's, been mining for a long time. He's kind of missed his window. If, for example, he had these roaches out earlier and he went up whenever Fenner was droning, then he'd be able to catch him a little bit off guard. But right now, all that Fenner needs to do, because he knows he's ahead in economy, is just make units. So that's all he's going to be doing. The idea to make a lot of roaches at this point is kind of I would say it's just a mistake, because he can't do any damage with this. There's no way. If he were, to example, he has these spines. What I think he should have done would be get these spines, sit really defensively for quite a while, get roaches out as well. Just keep making roaches. Force Fenner to attack you, and whenever you feel comfortable, try to add in infestors, but you don't want to do too early, just in case. I think you actually could do it now, because Fenner's +2 is a bit away, and the only time at which Fenner's actually going to push out is whenever his +2 upgrades finished. So he's able to get infestors and a lot of roaches and just sit back behind these spines. He could theoretically come back in the game if he controlled it correctly, but the incentive to go for an attack is just a bit of a mistake. Obviously, he goes up. He has no drones right now, basically, at his third. Fenner just has way more stuff than he does at this point, like way more. And he's obviously also making Bane lasers for defense because he doesn't want to lose his attack. He knows that there's no drones at his third. Sorry, he knows there's no drones at this third. So all he needs to do is hold his attack and he's in a great position. So he makes a lot of Banings just in case. And just right now he's just making a lot of roaches. He knows he's a bit ahead. He's going to see if he can do any damage here. The attack into these spines obviously isn't the greatest because it's not, although it's not the greatest because there wasn't a great engagement, but because Fenner's able to reproduce with loads more drones at his third compared to his opponent's third, Jona just can't really do anything about it. So it was a really, really good setup into the mid game, which I really like, and he did what he needed to do to actually just, you know, execute the game not perfectly, but execute the game really well. So props to him. Obviously, he just keeps rallying right now. Jona can't really do much about it. And his 2-2 upgrades are on the way. Jona's so behind in upgrades. He's getting Burrow as well. Just getting all the upgrades you need for Roaches. This was a bit of a mistake, you know, just rally points is kind of messed up. These overloads are a bit out of position. But not that big of a deal. And he also, because he knows he's in such a commanding position and he's able to, you know, put a lot of pressure on, can get this 4th base at the gold a lot more comfortably. Since he has a lot of map control, there's no way that Jona can actually, you know, cancel this 4th. And Fenner's able to drone up this 4th a lot easier than usual, so he just opts to go for that. And he actually goes to, sorry, stumbling over my words a bit too much. He does opt to go for this kind of counter attack because he knows he has a better Roach count at the front. Well, I think he has a better Roach count, but he also has way better upgrades, 2-2 to 2-0. But he got Burrow, so whenever he actually goes in, he's able to, you know, Burrow to defend. He does, there we go. And of course, Fenner wins that trade at the front because he has way better upgrades. The game just kind of snowballs. Burrow movement finishes, sorry. And GG is called and the game's just ended. So I just wanted to do this video because I really, really liked the idea, the incentive of doing a build like this because of the way that the meta is going, and it just works really, really well. That's going to be me, actually. A relatively short video this today, just because I wanted to get this, not out of the way, but I wanted to get it done. And you should go check out Fenner, actually, guys. He's a really, really good, informative, entertaining streamer for Root, actually. So he's streaming, I think, every day. Trademark. Streams daily, trademark. And, you know, he plays there, and he talks a lot about what he's doing. And he's just a really, really interactive streamer, so I would go check him out. And at, what is it? Fenner, but it's spelled F. I'm going to put it all in the description of the video, so you'll be able to get it there. And you'll see him a lot in the community and things like that. So yeah, thanks very much, guys. Thanks very much to Imba for partnering with me again. Just giving them a bit of shout outs. You can check them out at imbapart.com. I think that is imbapart.com. And I'll be putting this up probably on Team Liquid and other stuff like that, so you be able to see it. Thanks very much, guys, for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.